Steve Wilson is a football commentator who watched that match in Sydney.
Well, ironically, I suppose, Jamie, one of the highlights was inevitably the fantastic goal scored by Sam Kerr for Australia, who ended up losing the game. It was probably the goal of the tournament, but England came back from that psychological blow and actually performed extremely well. And I think they deserved to win the game on the whole. But for a pure moment of genius, and in fact 15 moments when Sam Kerr came alive and really electrified the game, that was very, very memorable. England were, over the course of 90 minutes, very strong, very canny, very tactically astute. Australia had that 15 minutes where they really caused England a lot of difficulties. But in the end, England were the stronger side. And I feel that they were the side that deserved to go through. Sad, though, that is for the huge wave of support and goodwill towards Australia that there's been here in Sydney.
And what's the atmosphere been like in Sydney into the lead up to this game? And what's it going to be like now that the hosts are out?
Well, great disappointment, of course. They do have one more game, Australia. That's the third, fourth place playoff match, which will be played in Brisbane against Sweden. And you can be sure that that game will sell out. But the build-up to the England semi-final has just gathered pace as the Stoners roll down the hill. The local newspaper, the Daily Telegraph, renamed themselves the Daily Telegraph in reference to the Matildas and their nickname of the team. They have literally been front and back pages of every newspaper. Their victory over France in the quarter-final in an epic 20-kick penalty shootout was the single biggest TV audience for any event in Australia since Cathy Freeman in the 2000 Olympics, 23 years ago. So you get some impression there of just how big this has become here. It is a sports-mad country, of course, more traditionally associated with Aussie rules, with rugby league and union, and with cricket, but certainly women's football has made its mark here, and you would like to think that that interest will be here to stay.
And do the Lionesses have what it takes to bring the cup home?
Yeah, the $64 million question. Well, you know, they will be favourites for the game. There's no question about that. They play Spain in the final. They had a very, very difficult match against Spain in the European Championships, when on home turf, England came back to beat them and went on to lift the trophy. Spain are the top-scoring side, I think, in this World Cup finals here. They will be dangerous. The bulk of their squad come from Real Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona are the current European club champions. So England will know that they will be in for a very, very stiff game. I think they will be narrow favourites, however, but I think it will be a game to really enjoy and savour, maybe unless you're an Australian.